What is up, guys? Chris here, Bear Market Mining. Welcome back to the channel. So you've heard me talk about my solar powered mining farm before, but today I'm going to give you an inclusive inside look into the numbers, how much I'm really making over the last month, and is solar actually worth it for crypto mining in 2024? As you know, crypto mining profitability can be all over the place. It's been a real nightmare from time to time, but with solar power, it's a whole different story. So I've been working hard to optimize my setup, my home mining farm, and in today's video, we're diving into the details of my monthly income for October, comparing it to the grid costs and looking at how, different seasons, sunlight, and all that can affect your energy impact earnings. If you're thinking of setting up something similar or just curious about mining profits in 2024, then this is the video for you. So let's jump into it first up and have a look at the hardware that we're using. So we'll have a quick glimpse at what we're working with in here. We've got 6 rigs. One of those rigs on the right is actually being sold as we speak. So we've got around 50 cards running, mostly 3070s. We've got a 3060 Ti rig and also 10 6600 XTs. Jumping into the ASICs, we've got 10 of these KSO Ultras just mining away, doing their thing. They've been going solid for the past 3 months now, so really enjoyed having those online and such low wattage. We've also got a couple of Alephium miners here. We have more being hosted, but just the Albox and the AL0. And also our CPUs, we've got 6 of them running at the moment. 7950X, we've got 4 5900Xs and one 3900X to round it out. Jumping up on the roof, we can see where the magic happens, as they say. This is the first wing of my solar panels, approximately half, just under, and the other half or so right here, as we can see. So it is a little bit later in the afternoon, so not as bright as it could be, but we're still pulling around 5,500 watts at 3 p.m. So this is the time when I would start to power down some of my rigs, just to make sure we're staying within that kilowatt capacity and not pulling off the grid. All right, so let's see how much this cost me and how much we're making monthly, because that's what it all really comes down to, right? If you're not making money, if the investment is too high, then it's kind of like, what's the point? So let's get into that. But before we do, let's hear a quick word from today's sponsor. Attention, crypto miners. Are you ready to level up your mining game? Then look no further than CryptoMinerBros.com, your go-to source for top-of-the-line mining equipment. Crypto Miner Bros stock the latest ASIC miners and partner with the most trusted brands like Bitmain, Goldshell, Jazzminer, and Ice River, just to name a few. Plus, with manufacturers' warranties of 6 to 12 months, worldwide shipping, and 24/7 customer support, you're fully covered no matter where you are. And don't forget, you can use code BEARMINER at checkout or click the link in description to save $70 on all products store-wide. Visit CryptoMinerBros.com today and start mining smarter. So my setup cost me around $5,500 around 4 years ago in 2020 it was. Now I won't show you the receipt for obvious reasons, because I don't want all of you to have my address that badly. So let's have a look at the numbers here. 7 kilowatt system, 10 kilowatt system. So we're right in between here, a little bit, maybe around the $7,000 mark is the Queensland rate where I'm from. And that's a little bit cheaper than the national average, which is pretty nice. Now, obviously a little bit more expensive than I paid. Inflation is has increased prices, I should say. Labor's more expensive, parts are more expensive, so you get that. But I wouldn't imagine that these include the rebates. So here in Australia, the government's really pushing towards greener energy, as I think they are in lots of other places of the world as well. So there are like $2,000 to $3,000 rebates on install costs of solar. So I did just have a quick look at some prices, 3,491. Obviously, these are all in Aussie dollars, 2,799. So if this is what they're advertising, I'm sure there will be some hidden fees, but I'd assume right around the $6,000 mark, you should still be able to get one. But obviously that depends on where you are in the world. So having a look here at my dashboard, this is my Solax Cloud dashboard for my 8 kilowatt solar setup. we can see we pulled a total of 1120 kilowatt hours throughout the month of October, which works out to about 36 kilowatt hours per day. So pretty nice. Now, I do not have a battery, so I'm not storing any of this. The cost for batteries is way too high here in Australia, at least. And I'm pretty sure in most parts of the world, they're just ridiculously expensive. But I don't need a battery because I'm using up pretty much everything I can. So that's my strategy for how it's been working so far. So about 36 kilowatts a day, which works out to about 10 cents at my $10, sorry, at my electricity rate, which is 30 cents Aussie. But as we know, I've been mining for a 24-hour period in the last month. So that brings my electricity rate down to about an average of 19 cents per hour. Obviously, days like this, where we're not having as much sunlight, as we can see, my electricity rate will go up. But on days like where we're pulling 45 kilowatts and I will be selling it back to the grid, it sort of has evened itself out, and that will reflect in the numbers that we'll have a look at the end. Moving on down, we can see our current power consumption, about 5,846 watts. We're currently pulling off these panels. And my farm in total, where is it at the moment, is only pulling just under 3,000 kilowatts. Now, of course, we've got the KSO Ultras as well. We've got the Alephium miners. We've got the computer online right now. So about 4,500 or so watts will be pulling actively at this stage. But if we have a look at the timeline down here, so, you know, from, where are we, 280, so from about 5:40 a.m. at the moment, the AL0 and the ALBOX are covered. You know, then if we look at, where are we here, by about 6:20, the 10 KSO Ultras and the Alephium miners are all covered. You know, then we go up another 1,000 watts or so, all the CPUs are covered, and then by about, you know, 8 o'clock or so, about 4,000 watts, the whole farm is covered. And you can see this is continuing right to where we're up now, 1 o'clock, and the sun has been going down later and later and later. So we'll probably get on average about 8 hours a day, and we've seen that monthly reflected through that timeline. So a really cool way to look at and monitor things like this. You know, I don't monitor this exactly. You know, I'm not jumping on here and being like, okay, it's 6:05, we have 536 watts, let's do the math on that. You know, I'm up at about 5 o'clock in the morning with my son. Then by about 6:30 or so, I pretty much boot everything online. And as we're mining cubic at the moment, often at that time we're in the idle window, so it's not pulling max amount of watts, but you know, you could say that there's a usage of power at that point that is on the grid, so hence it might cost me a little bit more. But as we stated before, you know, these days when we're pulling 43 kilowatts, 44 kilowatts or so, we're selling a fair bit back to the grid anyway, based on my, you know, use of only about half of that at times. So it all works out pretty good. But let's jump over and see the actual numbers, see how much we've made in the last month. So the numbers, how did it all work out? So let's start here at the top left. The unfortunate KSO Ultras, we mined 442 Kaspa with these over the past month at the current price of 17 cents AUD. $75 worth of Kaspa at current prices we've mined, right? And the electricity, what did it cost us? $136, so a net loss there. Now I have removed these totals from my KS5L and KS5M as they are not mining off my solar, which brings our monthly profit down to minus $61. So that's at current prices. I'm not too worried about the price of Kaspa at the moment, but to start us off, not going in the right direction with Kaspa. Moving on over to the ALBOX and the AL0, total of 43.45 Alephium that I've mined at the current price, $1.83, $79 worth of Alephium. This number has just been dropping and dropping and dropping, as we all know, with all of those AL1s and whatnot coming online. Really tanked the yield, but them's the breaks. That's what it is. Only 200 watts, 201 kilowatt hours worth of electricity though. So, you know, not too bad over the whole month. 38 bucks, what's that, $1.10 or something a day. Still ends up being profitable, about 40 bucks a month or so worth of Alephium we've yielded after the expenses. Now here is where the interesting part comes. Cubic. GPUs, CPUs. I've had, I started on the first epoch at the start of this month with 1 rig, then I moved to 2 rigs, then I moved to 4, then I put all of the CPUs on as well. So I haven't had, 32 GPUs and 6 CPUs on the whole time. In hindsight, I wish I had, because they've been easily the most profitable. So 242 million cubic we've mined at the moment at the current price of 0.000025 cents. Works out to $607 worth of cubic, which sounds good. Now, I have been mining 24/7 with these, and as some of you may or may not know, cubic mines 1 hour on and then idles 1 hour off. So for 1 hour you're using, say, 2,500 watts, and the next hour it's idling down at about 800-900 watts. So that's really helped over the nighttime periods when the sun is not out. But still pulled 1,200 kilowatt hours this month, $228 worth of electricity, which brings our monthly profitability of the Alephium and cubic to $420. So what does that work out to? That brings our monthly total profitability at current prices to $358.97. So a bit of change there, which is about $11.50 a day worth of profit after electricity. Now, this is from the 10 KSO Ultras and the Alephium and cubic mining as well. So not too bad. But what I'm more interested in is yield at the moment, and price appreciation, potential price appreciation that can happen. Over here we have the sensitivity analysis, which is allowing exactly for this, right? Very self-explanatory. What we're doing is taking our monthly profitability of $358, and we're saying, okay, what if the market tanks and what I've mined is worth half, 50% of it? That would bring us down to $179 per month, which, as we can see, will not cover the electricity costs. So that would be bad, right? Obviously, 2x of the price, $717 a month, 3x of the price, $1,076, and 4x of the price, $1,435. So this is where we're really hoping we'll get, but it's hard to know when this is going to happen, right? The bull run's meant to be coming. Will it be here? Will it not? We're going to have to find out. That will be to be determined, completely out of our control. So for now, we keep mining. So this will wrap it up, guys. $358 in the last month worth of profit. Nothing too exciting, but like we saw, I'm more interested in those 2x, 3x numbers for the future. For now, we're holding on to everything. We're not selling because I can cover these electricity costs out of pocket. So for now, we will, and I guess we'll just wait and see whether that was a good idea or not. So if you like the video, guys, please hit that like button, consider subscribing, join the Discord in the link below if you want more information, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.